Latest football news, engaging debates,
and fascinating opinions.
Pitchside Talk on IO Radio.
Hello and welcome back to Pitchside Talk from home with me, George, and we're joined by usual as Dan, and Piers has returned after a week off. He's been doing his revision on his quiz this time.
Is that why you're off, Piers?
I'm ready now. Yeah, I'm ready. I'll probably only get 1 point.
He is ready for this. Yes, before I forget to mention, if you want to follow us on any of our social medias, Twitter is at Pitchside Talk, Instagram's talk_pitch, Mixcloud is Pitchside Talk, and if you want to listen to any of our previous shows, they're all on YouTube. Like this one will be up hopefully by about 3 o'clock, judging by my internet speed. Fingers crossed. But yes, how are you guys doing? You know, long time no see, especially for you, Piers. 2 weeks. Dan, I haven't seen you in a week or heard you in a week. We had technical problems last time.
Yeah, I've been doing okay. Same as usual. Every week is the same now, it seems.
Well, apart from this week, it's been a little bit of a sad week for you with Ipswich Town, but we will get on to that soon. What about you, Piers? Have you been the last 2 weeks?
I mean, football-wise, it's been brilliant. I mean, Chelsea are back. Timo Werner on the way. Hartes or Hartes. Chilwell. Declan Rice. We're back.
Didn't want Timo Werner in the first place, mate. What are you on about? Didn't want him at all. Well, what was coming up in the show today? Well, we're going to be talking about League One and League Two because there's big news on both those leagues. Yesterday, got a Bundesliga Round Up, and we've got the quizzes back. Dan is leading this 3-1. So, Piers, it's a must-win week really for you because you know you've got to call us back. If not, it's just over and done. Oh no, is he gone?
Oh, he's frozen.
Oh no, the technical problems are struck. The show's due.
Oh, there you go. I think I'm back.
Hey. Back.
There you go.
I'll skip the beat there. Yeah, it's a must-win week for you, Piers. You must win this week on the quiz. If not, Dan's just gone. And we can't have Ipswich Town having some success this season, can we? We can't afford this.
Wow.
Oh, God. Well, speaking of Ipswich Town in League One and League Two, yesterday, both the leagues voted to end the season early after a meeting where they were going to settle the table on a points-per-game basis. Yes, this did happen. So starting off with League Two, they voted to end the season back on the 15th of May altogether, but they have now voted on what the final table will look like. And Swindon Town will go up as champions. Crewe Alexandra and Plymouth Argyle will join them in automatic promotion, which we'll now see in the playoffs. We'll see Cheltenham Town versus Nottingham Town and Exeter City versus Colchester United. We could actually have Colchester v Ipswich next season. I can't wait for it. Good old Derby. Good old Derby. And Stevenage have been relegated from League Two down to the non-league, not non-league, National League. What am I on about?
Yeah. It is non-league, technically. You're technically right.
I am technically right. I'm thinking of Sunday League football, that's why. Have the EFL made the right decision in sort of how to sort of sort out the table this way? Because there's now only, 5 games now left of the season instead of 108 like there originally was.
Yeah, I think they've made the right decision. We've seen teams put forward some really stupid ways to finish the season, and I think in League Two especially, teams just wanted to end. I think if the games went ahead, then it would have had quite big implications on some of the League Two clubs, some of the smaller League Two clubs. So yeah, I think for League Two, I think that the EFL have definitely made the right decision with the points per game basis.
What are you, Piers? Does this sort of work, the points per game basis in this?
Yeah, I think, especially with League Two, I think financially it's probably really, really helped the teams. I think the only downside is it's a bit anticlimactic, isn't it, for the teams that go up? It's a bit like, oh, okay, we've got up now. You know, we're champions, but I'm sure their fans probably ain't complaining too much. But yeah, I'd say it's the best way. It's the easiest way, isn't it?
It does seem the easiest way, which hasn't caused too much controversy like in League One, which we'll get onto later on, but it has caused a bit of controversy down in the relegation zone because Stevenage has been relegated, but they have been relegated. They were only 3 points away from safety from Maxwell Town, which are currently suffering some financial issues with player wages and that. And do you feel they should be felt hard done by getting relegated? Because they could have survived. Or is it tough luck? You should have played better over the course of the season.
Yeah, with Stevenage, they've had such a poor season. They've been bottom pretty much the whole season. So I think their fans probably pretty much knew that they were going to go down, and I think that's just tough luck for them. Obviously, Macclesfield can't help the points deduction that they got. I don't know how many points Stevenage are off.
11 points Macclesfield will get deducted.
Okay. So yeah, it's just unfortunate for them. But yeah, I just think Stevenage. I don't think they were good enough to stay up. And obviously, there's only one team getting relegated from League Two this season because of Bury. So yeah, it's just unfortunate for them that they're the only ones.
What about your thoughts, Piers? Should Macclesfield go down with Stevenage with what's going with their points reduction?
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it? I think, but if you're in the relegation zone and what happens, then unfortunately that's what happens at the end of the day. That it's the fairest way. It might not seem the right way, but I guess it's the fairest way overall to be dealt with.
It does seem the fairest way. Well, we're now moving to League One, where the points per game system has caused a lot of controversy. I think out of the clubs voting, only 4 of them wanted to play on, which you said, Dan, were Ipswich, Tranmere, Sunderland and Peterborough?
Yep, them 4.
Yep.
Well,
I am
allegedly,
correct.
I don't know for sure. But
we don't know, but we're going to go with only 4 clubs voted these. So now Coventry have been crowned as champions. They won at Portman Road on the final day of the season, we can now say. That seems like a long, long time ago. That does now.
Yeah, it does.
With Rotherham joining them as well. But this is where it now has caused a lot of controversy in the playoffs. So we will see now in the playoffs, Wycombe Wanderers versus Fleetwood Town, Portsmouth versus Oxford in the playoffs, which has caused a lot of controversy because Peterborough, who were 6th, have now dropped out of the playoffs and Wycombe have taken their place. And Sunderland have missed out by goal difference the same as Peterborough have, if I'm correct, because they're all tied on 59 points.
Yeah.
I am correct. And also it has caused a lot of controversy down the bottom. Bolton and Southend have been relegated as well, which we sort of we're going to see happen anyway with sort of the positions they were in with points deductions at the start of the season for Bolton, and Southend struggling a lot this season. But Tranmere, it's caused a lot of controversy. They've been relegated they were 3 points away from safety. So they have gone as well. But are we seeing now that teams are in this sort of the points deduction system and the points per system has sort of caused a lot more controversy in this than it has in League Two?
Yeah, it definitely has in League One. And I think that's mainly because, as you said, teams like Peterborough and Sunderland were trying to go be in the playoff position. So they feel hard done by not being in the playoffs. And obviously there's this whole thing about the Peterborough owner who's always mouthing off on Twitter about something or other. So he obviously they're not happy that they're not in the playoffs. And obviously for Tranmere as well, it's tough on them. They thought that they could stay up. So yeah, it's definitely caused a lot more controversy in League One. But again, as I said, with League Two, I think it's the safest, not the safest, the fairest way to do it. Because the league wasn't going to start. That wasn't an option. So I don't know how else they could have done it, really. And whatever was put forward, I don't think Peterborough even got in the playoffs. So, yeah, it's just sour grapes, I think, for a lot of teams. But obviously, it's going to be hard on teams like Tranmere. And yeah, but for me, it's the fairest way.
Well, Piers, we just said there about Peterborough being sort of have lost out on the playoffs there. Their director of football, Barry Fry, has come out and said that Peterborough have been cheated out of the playoffs. Do you sort of agree that have they been cheated, or have they just fallen the wrong side of the fence in this sort of the system of how it's worked this time around?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand where they come from because obviously they were in the playoff positions, but the only way you can guarantee that is to score more and win more games. So that's the main problem. If you'd won more games, you wouldn't be in this situation. So that's the situation. I do feel bad for them. I'd probably feel more bad for Sunderland as a club, just because of what they've been through the last few years. I'm sure they'll get another nice Netflix series, but
Can't wait
apart
for
from
it.
that, yeah. But like Dan said, like with League Two, it's the fairest way. Some people aren't going to like it, but you can't please everybody at the moment.
You can't please anybody. And a team that has not been pleased by the season ending is Ipswich Town. They were literally one of the clubs. Marcus Evans came out and said that they can compete this season. We can do it. But unfortunately, they cannot. And it has now led to Ipswich Town's worst finish in 67 years. Oh boy, I can't wait for the rant now. This season for Ipswich Town was full of so much promise and hype. This was going to be the season that was going to rejuvenate Ipswich Town. It was going to be something new. It was going to be a fresh start. It was going to be like a new beginning under Paul Hurst, but just delayed by a year.
New era. That's what we called it.
A new era under a different Paul.
Yeah.
100 points, 100 goals, wasn't it, called by the Tranmere game, if I remember correctly?
Oh, yeah, that's what everyone's saying.
The ship was sailing. I can't repeat the name on here because it's too rude, but the ship was sailing. And we're now in, what month we're in now? June. I can't remember what month we're in, perfectly honest. The ship has sunk. The season failed massively. It's been described now as a failure. Where do Ipswich go from here? Like, what are your first thoughts, both your guys' thoughts on Ipswich Town's season, really? Now it's over. Now we can talk about it properly. Like, what happens now?
Do you think it's best for me to go first, Dan?
Yeah.
Go please get your lines in now.
Yeah, I'll get it in now.
Yeah.
It's an absolute disappointment because I remember at the start of the season, people saying, if we don't get top two, it's an absolute failure. Playoffs is not an option. And it has been, quite frankly. The start, they were doing so well. They played so well. And I haven't really watched it this season, so I'm not too sure why they fell off and what happened. But I don't care, regardless of how they fell off. A team like that in the league that they're in, they should be doing a lot better. And when it gets to the point when you're playing games and you're going, oh, you know, we've got Fleetwood, we need to watch out for them. When you're a club like Ipswich, I think that shows that there's a problem within the club. But when you don't spend money and you have the problems Ipswich has, then sometimes it's just understandable.
Go on, Dan.
Yeah, this season has been an absolute failure. Of course it has. I said at the start, if we don't get top two, then it's a failure. And it started off so well. We went 12 unbeaten from August till October time.
Yeah, October. Yeah, Acton Stanley.
And it was going so well, and we all thought we were the best team in the league. We were 7 points clear. And then we went into that period where there was just cup games over and over again. It was around that time where it just started dropping off. And there's a few reasons for that, I think. One is Paul Lambert's rotation system, which was just completely ridiculous. Randomly just putting players in the squad. Like, I can't remember what game it was, but was it a young player? I can't even remember who it was now. McGavin, that's it. He just randomly started in one of the games, and that rotation system was awful. I think the international break probably didn't help with that as well. The fact that Paul Lambert didn't want to play over the international break, and then this year, 2020, has been an absolute disgrace. To be honest. I think we've won 3 games in 2020, something like that. Maybe 4. No, 3 at home, I think.
I think you are right.
Which is just absolutely embarrassing. And some of the stuff that is coming out from Lambert now. I listened to the interview he did today, and I was just listening to it thinking these are just stupid excuses. I'm sure we'll get into one of the comments he made in a minute.
We will.
But there's so many excuses from the players, from the owner, from the manager. Scoos came out and said, it's a huge disappointment, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's pretty obvious. Like, what's the point in saying all this stuff about how it's a disappointment, we should have done better? Yes, well done. You got that right. It's been such a disappointing season. I'm very angry about it, as you can probably tell.
I can tell. I think. Are you more angry than we were last season? Can I ask? Before we just move any further forward.
That's a good question. Yeah, I think I am actually. Because last year we knew from quite early on that we were going to go down. I think by November we were like, yeah, that's it. So I kind of relaxed by the time the season finished. I was kind of like, yeah, we're not good enough for this league. We're going to be playing in League One. But I think the fact that we had the team that could go at the start of the season, I thought we had a team that could get promoted. And with the players we have in our squad, we should have. You know, I don't like being like Sunderland and saying, oh, just because we're Ipswich, we deserve to go up. Because I don't like saying stuff like that. But with the squad that we had, we definitely should have gone up. And the fact that we just dropped off so quickly. In February, we were top of the league, and we were 7th by 2 weeks later, which is very embarrassing. So, yeah, I think I'm more disappointed this season than I was last season, definitely.
So we have heard there's a lot of backlash from Ipswich Town fans over Paul Lambert's future, but the club has come out. Lee O'Neill came out yesterday on an interview saying that Paul is a part of the football club going forward. His key member staff, they're all part of the football club. Is that quite deflating to hear that, sort of, that he's going to be a part, or is it just keeping him on because of what could the current situation we're in at the moment? We don't know when football will restart back up in League One. We guessed in August, but is that just quite deflating to hear that he's going to be staying after it's just suffered their worst season ever, like in League One? Surely he would be gone if this was another club, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, you're exactly right, and it is very deflating for us fans, because we were all hoping that there was a clause in his contract that maybe if we didn't get into the top 6, he would be gone. But now yesterday, as soon as I say something about Lambert going, which is the first time I've ever said that on Twitter since we've had Lambert.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. I said Lambert out on Twitter yesterday.
I've got to find that now.
So yeah, it is quite disappointing. After the season we've had, I just don't understand how he can be in the future plans unless we have an amazing season next season. But the thing is, we're not going to sign anyone for money this summer because the virus has affected that. We have no money anyway, so we're just not going to sign anyone good, I don't think. So I'm very, very worried about next season. Very, very worried. And considering that we have Paul Lambert next season, it's gonna definitely be a struggle. Definitely, I think.
Well, moving on to some of Paul Lambert's comments, he has talked about this morning on Radio Suffolk. I listened to the interview. I thought, what are you on about? I think somebody said he's playing Lambert bingo. In a minute, he's going to mention Germany, which he did, but he didn't mention about his Champions League win, so they couldn't tick the box, unfortunately, on that one. But, he said that the season's we've had a bad couple of months and we've paid the price. And according to him, them bad couple of months were February and March. But fans are going, well, this started in November. Is there just a lack of transparency, really, between what he's seeing and what the fans are saying that this has been from November, you'll start in February?
Yeah, and it is so similar to Mick, unbelievably similar to Mick, this situation.
Well, you loved Mick, didn't you?
The fact that he's come out and said that, I don't get it. In November, we were 7 points clear at the top of the league, and we went on a horrendous run. I think from November to December, we went like 12 games without a win, I think it was.
Yes, that was right.
So how you can come out and say we've had an awful 2 months, which were February and March, it's just it just really, really angered me because we've been awful since November pretty much. And I think there probably is a lack of transparency. I think some of the stuff he was saying, it was just obvious things that he was coming out with, and that the fans know. We want answers. We don't want him to come out and say, oh, we weren't good enough. Oh, stuff like that. We already know that. We want answers why we finished 11th in League One. We don't want excuses. And I think that's the main thing why I'm annoyed, because it's just excuses every time from owner, manager, and players when they do interviews every single time.
Piers, do feel free to chip in at any time if you want to.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what's the perfect situation or what do you hope happens from this then, Dan? Because obviously Ipswich have got no money. I mean, Lambert's made those comments. He's obviously here to stay because it's the cheapest option from us, the safest option. So what's the best option for Ipswich now?
That's a very tough question, actually. I think, as you said, we haven't got any money to spend, so it's going to be tough on that front. Lambert's staying. I'd like to say Marcus Evans sells the club. I think that's, but then again, that might not go well. That's a gamble in itself. So I'm just hoping that we get enough players over the summer who are good enough to be good in League One, and actually fight for promotion instead of just dropping off dropping off from first so quickly. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm just praying that we have some quality players who can at least get us in the playoffs next year. I'll take playoffs next year after the season we've had, because I'm very, very worried about next season, definitely. Now I know that Lambert's going to stay. It's not hopeful.
Well, you just said about the financial situation. Ipswich Town. Will we see possibly the big players leave on a cheap? That's a big worry, because Luke Wolverton's looking to go, possibly.
Yeah.
Finn Downs is looking to go, because their careers are not going to, be taken off there. Could this be a big moment for Ipswich Town, that this could be where they might be for the next few seasons, maybe even lower? We do not know. Football's now unpredictable with the new situation that's going on.
Yeah, that's a massive worry, and I'm sure that Downs or Wolverton will leave in the summer, and I don't think they'll be for that much money. There's rumours going around that we're going to sell them on the cheap, and I think that's what Marcus Evans might do. To at least get some money to spend, or even get that money back during this situation. So yeah, it's going to be a tough summer. It really is, and I cannot see Downs definitely. I cannot see staying. I feel like he is 100% going to leave, which is disappointing, because he was probably the best player for me this season. Out of the disappointment of this season, he was the best player. So I'm so worried about next season.
Well, we've only got 2 more questions left. Don't worry, we've only got 2 left. So this season is going to go down as one of the worst in its history. If you had to put the blame on someone or some people, who would it be? I remember I asked you this question last year, and you sort of like, I don't know who to put on. We're going to do percentage, but is this now? People are saying it's all Lambert's fault, but then some people go, no, it's not Lambert's fault. It's Leo Neal, sorry, not Leo Evans, Leo Neal and Marcus Evans and Lambert. Where's this go? The blame. Somebody has to take the blame for this, and it needs to be sorted out, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're right. We need answers. That's all we want, I think. Why this season has gone wrong, but to blame someone, obviously Lambert has to be in there. Some of the tactics he's come out is not great. This whole changing system every single game. I think we had like 4 different formations in 4 games at some point in the season. Just players being thrown in randomly. It's not going to work. And actually, in his interview this morning, he said, "But when we were doing rotation, we were winning games." And I was like, "No,
Oh,
that's another like disparity, I guess, between fans and Paul Lambert." But yeah, he definitely has to take the blame, or a bit of the blame at least, for this season, and Marcus Evans as well. Pretty much since he joined, we've just gone on a downhill spiral, except obviously 14-15, when we should have spent money in the summer then as well, when we were top at Boxing Day and finished 6th. So yeah, should have spent money then as well. But ever since he's joined, he's pretty much been a downhill spiral. There's this whole five-year plan thing that's gone well, finishing 11th in League One this season. Fantastic. I don't know what he's thinking about that, but yeah, I think Marcus Evans has definitely got to take some of the blame as well. I don't know who to put the most blame on. To be honest, Marcus Evans would be my first choice, and obviously the players as well. They haven't performed. James Norwood, he came in. We were all really excited about him. I know he's been playing with an injury, supposedly, but he hasn't really impressed for me. And injuries as well. It's just been a stressful season, I think.
So next season's come around the corner. We reckon August. We do not know. For both of you guys, do you fear for next season? Because it could be even worse. We could be talking relegation battle. We just don't know now, do we?
Do you want to go first, Piers?
Yeah.
Get your lines in, Piers, now.
I think, honestly, it's only going to get worse for Ipswich over the time. If they're going to lose their best players, they've got aging players, which I don't think they'll be able to replace their skill level. I think they'll probably finish where they are now next season, 11th to around 14th. And then I reckon after that they'll be in a relegation battle. Unless I see some major changes, I can't see Ipswich going back up.
No, I agree. I think next season will pretty much be the same as this. I think we'll finish mid-table. As Piers said, we'll be selling all our best players this summer. I don't know who we're going to sign. It will be free agents and loans, of course. But it's going to be tough in the future. And if nothing's going to change, if Lambert's going to be the one to take us forward, as Marcus Evans and Leo Neal were saying, then I just don't know where we're going to go with this. If you can only finish 11th in League One this season, when on paper the squad should have easily been in the top two, I think. So, yeah, I'm very worried about next season and definitely the seasons after that as well. But I cannot see us going up next year.
Well, before we just leave the Ipswich Town conversation, I've got a concerning stat for you, Dan. So on the 29th match day, Ipswich were top. They beat Lincoln. All the teams that were top in the Premier League, Championship or League Two have either won or they are still top to this day, which is
that is depressing. And the fact that we dropped off so quickly as well, it's just so embarrassing, really. And I'm getting Norwich fans liking my tweets from earlier on in the season now. So.
Gotta love to see the Norwich fans. They're back. They're back. Just wait until they get relegated, then you can have your fun with them.
No, we can't complain. We can't, unfortunately.
Right, they've got their best spine, haven't they? He's on the touchline.
Yeah.
Before we get onto the quiz, we better just do the Bundesliga Round Up. So the Bundesliga has been going on this week. So just quickly run through the results. So Freiburg beat Mönchengladbach 1-0. Leverkusen lost 4-2 to Bayern Munich. Yikes. Frankfurt lost 2-0 to Mainz. Dusseldorf, Ipswich Town's favourite team of all time, drew 2-2 to Hoffenheim. RB Leipzig drew 1-1 to Paderborn, who are bottom of the league, and that's now given Borussia Dortmund a little bit of a buffer now as they won 1-0 against Hertha Berlin. And we've got some other results when I can turn the page properly. Werder Bremen looked like they could be going down the season after losing 1-0 to Wolfsburg. Union Berlin picked up a 1-1 draw against Schalke, and Augsburg drawed 1-1 to Cologne. And that's everything from the Bundesliga Roundup. Won't be doing that up soon because we've got the La Liga returning tomorrow, actually, and the Premier League returning next week.
Yes.
Cannot wait. Look at Piers. He's happy for it. So now it is time for the infamous Pitch Site Talk quiz, the 5th edition of our quiz. Currently the score is 3-1 to Dan. Piers, it's a must-win for you this week. Have you got any tactics this
Chelsea
time?
are 3-1 down to Napoli in the Champions League, and they ended up winning out.
Okay, he's putting out all the stocks here. Any excuses before we start?
I'll figure some at the end if I lose.
Okay, you'll figure some at the end. Right then. So as usual, we have got 10 questions and a tiebreaker at the end. if we need it. We're going to have 15 seconds on the clock for each question. Is that okay? Or do you need more time this time?
No,
Is
that's
that
cool.
okay, right then. So, question 1. How many goals has Cristiano Ronaldo scored in the Champions League era? Is it A, 124, B, 126, or C, 128? And your time starts now. This is interesting. He scored a lot of goals. You know, for 3 teams, he scored a lot of goals. But who will get it right? We're going to find out any second. Now, starting off with you first, Dan. Who have you gone for? Or what have you gone for?
I've gone for 126, but that's a guess.
Okay. What about you, Piers?
Yeah, I've gone for B, 126 as well.
Okay. Right then. So at Manchester United, he scored 15 goals. At Real Madrid, he scored 105 goals. And at Juventus, he scored 8 goals, which means he scored 128 goals at his time in the Champions League era. So nobody has got that correct there. Question 2. How many different teams have won the Premier League? Is it A, 5, B, 6, or C, 7? Your time starts now. Did they know? I don't know. I've got the answers here. We'll find out in a second. Piers looks quietly confident.
Wait, what were the oh, sorry.
No, go. What are you saying?
The answers, what were they again?
Oh, so A5, B6, or C7?
Okay.
Could you just give you a few extra seconds?
Yeah.
Right. Going to you first, Piers. As Dan seems to be cheating at the moment.
No, I've just forgotten.
Joking.
I think it's A5.
Okay. What about you, Dan?
I've gone for 6. Because
Okay.
I just counted them. The reason why I did that, George, was because I didn't know if 6 was an answer you said. I forgot. So
Okay. Okay. At least you didn't cough. At least you didn't go.
No.
Wasn't for £1 million, thank God. Well, I can confirm the correct answer is 6. It is 6.
Yeah, I just counted that.
So we've got Manchester United, Blackburn Rovers, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, and Leicester. Soon to be 7, possibly on next
I was
Sunday.
going to say.
Yeah.
Soon to be
Does
7.
that
Don't
count?
live for that one.
I was actually going to make the answer 7, but I thought, I can't be that cocky just yet. I've got to wait. Just going to hold the nerves. Right, question 3. Who has scored the most left-footed goals in the Premier League? Is it A, Robbie Fowler, B, Robin Van Persie, or C, Ryan Giggs? Your time starts now. So yeah, who scored the most left-footed goals in the Premier League? Is it A, Robbie Fowler?
I'm left-footed, so no, this.
Is it B, Robin Van Persie, or is it C, Ryan Giggs? Who knows? Even I don't know. I've got the answers, but your time is up. Hello to you first, Dan. Who have you gone for this time?
I've gone for Robin Van Persie.
Okay.
Not sure though.
Not too sure why you, Piers.
I've gone for Robin Van Persie as well.
Okay. I can confirm the correct answer is Robbie Fowler. Robbie Fowler has scored the most effort goals. Ryan Giggs has got 83. Robin Van Persie has got 94. And Robbie Fowler has got 105.
Jeez.
Yeah, a lot of goals for your left foot. I can't even score one on my left foot. I can't even do a touch with my left foot. That shows how good I am. Question 4. Who scored a hat-trick on the opening weekend of the Premier League? So the 1920 season. Is it A, Tammy Abraham, B, Harry Kane, or C, Raheem Sterling? Time starts now. So yeah, was it Tammy Abraham? Was it Harry Kane? Or was it Raheem Sterling? Just looking at the concentration now on his face, it looks like he knows. He's quietly confident.
I know one it definitely isn't. I'll tell you that for free.
Thank you very much. Well, hello over to you first, Piers. For your first point, will you get this correct? Who have you gone for?
I've gone for Raheem Sterling. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it's him.
Pretty sure. Okay, you're pretty sure.
Yeah.
Dan, are you pretty sure?
I've gone for Sterling as well, but I realised that it wasn't Abraham by what Piers just said. So
I lost 4-0 to Man United.
Oh, well, I
yeah,
can't.
I've gone for Sterling.
The correct answer is Raheem Sterling. Quite an easy one. Yes, so Sterling scored his hat-trick against West Ham. Harry Kane hasn't scored a hat-trick this season, which quite shocked me. And Tammy Abraham, you're correct. He didn't score a hat-trick against Manchester United, but did score a hat-trick against Wolves in a 5-2 victory. Question 5. So the championship starts up on the 20th of June. We will see 108 games played across a month or so. Quite a crazy amount. So Leeds are currently leading in the championship, right? They're currently leading. But how many points have they achieved this season? Is it A, 70, B, 71, or C, 72? Time starts now, yeah. Leeds currently leading a league. What all happens when they lead a league? Don't know. Let's ask Frank Lampard what happened last season. Sure he knows. So your time is up. Heading over to you first, Dan. What have
I've
you
gone for
gone for?
72.
72? Okay.
Yeah.
Piers?
I've gone for 72 as well.
I can confirm it's 71. Only 71 this season. They've won 21, drawn 8, and lost 8. Yes, only 71. They're only 1 point ahead of West Brom, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but if they still don't go up this season, then I'll be very surprised.
Well, it's Leeds. Anything can happen. And technically, in their mind, they won the season in September. So,
Oh yeah.
anything can happen. Well, another championship question. So we all know the player final is going to be going ahead. The playoffs will be happening in the championship this season, which is going to be played on the 2nd or the 3rd of August. Has not been confirmed yet. So we're going to just reflect on a past playoff final. So who scored for QPR in the 13-14 playoff final? Is A, Bobby Zamora, B, Charlie Austin, or C, Nico Cranchar, Harry Redknapp's favourite? The time starts now, so yeah. Is it Bobby Zamora, Charlie Austin, or Nico Cranchar? Piers looks confident. He's got his arms crossed. So you might know. Does he know? Is it Harry's favourites? Nico. The time's up. Well, heading over to you first then, Piers. Who have you gone for? Who is it?
I have gone for A. Zamora.
Okay, Zamora. Dan?
Yeah, that is right. It is Bobby Zamora.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can confirm. Yeah, it was Bobby Zamora, yeah. He's the only
I knew
person that
that one.
scored.
We had a science teacher at the time who was a really big Derby fan. And after they beat him, everyone used to shout at him, so I'll always remember it.
I shouldn't put that question in now. Yes. Nico Cranchar came off the bench, I think, if I remember correctly, and Charlie Austin just did nothing that whole game. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Nico, perfectly honest, when I saw him on there. Right then, question 7. So, in the 12-13 season, Ipswich Town finished 14th under Mick McCarthy in his first season. But who finished bottom of the league that season?
Oh,
Is it A, Peterborough United, B, Wolves, or C, Bristol City? Your time starts now.
do you know what? 2 of the teams I just thought in my head are 2 of the teams that you picked. Aren't they? Ugh.
Is it Peterborough, Wolves, or Bristol City? We're going to find out in a second. Heading over to you first, Dan. Which team have you gone for? Do you know?
I've gone for Peterborough.
Okay, Peterborough.
Because I think that all them 3 teams went down. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. What about you, Piers?
I've gone for Bristol City.
Bristol City. Okay. I can confirm it is Bristol City is the correct answer. Peterborough finished 22nd with 54 points. Wolves finished 23rd with 51 points. I wonder what happened to them. And Bristol City finished 24th with 41 points. And Ipswich finished with 60 points and only 8 points off Leicester, who were in 6th that season. And I think they were bottom at one point, weren't they, Dan? Ipswich Town that season?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, when Paul Jewell got sacked.
Yes, when he got sacked eventually. Heading over to another Ipswich Town question. How many goals did Giovanni De Silva score at his loan spell at Ipswich Town?
Giovanni Dos Santos.
Yes, that is correct. Is it 2, 4, or 6? Your time starts now. Yeah, so is it A2, B4, or C6? No. I can't believe he's there. I can't believe I got his name wrong. Oh, God. Don't come after me. And your time is up. Piers, I'm not going to say his name. I'll say De Santos. What have you gone for? What number have you gone for?
I had no idea, so I just went middle of the road. I've gone with B4.
Gone B4. Dan. This is
I'm
a
going to get this wrong. I still can't believe he played for us. I've gone for 6.
6.
Yeah.
I can confirm one of you is wrong and one of you is correct. And Piers, you are correct. It was 4. He got 4 goals in 8 appearances. Dan, I'm quite surprised you didn't get this because he scored against Norwich. And it was a winner.
Yeah, I know. He scored. Yeah, that's the only goal I know that he scored, a penalty against Norwich. I didn't go to any Ipswich games at this point, so I never saw the.
Excuses. Question 9. In the 07/08 season, Ali Bayal came the first player to score a hat-trick, a home and away, against the same side in the Premier League season. But who were the opposition that season? Was it A, Blackburn Rovers, B, Derby County, or C, Fulham? Time starts now. So yeah, was it Blackburn Rovers, Derby County, or Fulham? Who knows?
I don't.
Well, that sums up quite nicely then. We're heading over to Dan first. Dan, do you know who it is?
No, I've gone for B.
Go for B, and that's Derby County, yeah?
Yeah.
Piers?
Yeah, I just went for B because I know they were just literally the worst team, so I've just gone with them.
Well, you're correct. It is Derby County. They were literally the worst team. He scored 6 goals against them. Blackburn again scored 1, and Fulham he scored 2. Right, question 10. Who is the only player to play for the winning side in the FA Cup final at each Old Wembley, New Wembley, and the Millennium Stadium? Is it Ashley Cole, John Terry, or Patrick Vieira? Time starts now. Yeah. So who's played on the winning side in an FA Cup final at the Old Wembley, New Wembley, or the Millennium Stadium? Is it Ashley Cole, John Terry, or Patrick Vieira? Ooh, look at the concentration there. Do they know? We'll find out. We're heading over to you first, Piers. Who have you gone for?
I've gone for Ashley Cole. But I think
Ashley
I'll be wrong.
Cole. Gone for Ashley Cole, okay. Dan.
I've gone for Ashley Cole as well.
Okay. I can confirm the correct answer is Patrick Vieira. Yes, Patrick Vieira won it in the 97/98 season, the 01-02 season, and the 04-05 season. I did think it was Ashley Cole when I saw it, and I thought, oh, yeah, it's Ashley Cole. And I was like, oh, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Was
Was he too young at that point?
I would say so. I think John Terry could have fit around the brackets, but Chelsea weren't too great at the end.
They weren't good enough then, were they? No.
No, right. We're just going to quickly tot up the scores to see if we need the tie break for today.
I'm pretty sure we don't.
You're pretty sure we don't? Okay, then, Dan.
I'm pretty sure.
I have no idea what it is.
We'll do you first, Dan. All right, okay. Attention music, please. So, Dan, you have scored 4 points today. Piers, you have scored. Oh my God, I can't count. And Piers, You have scored 5. So it's currently now
There we
3
go.
to scores. Piers is back. The comeback's on, isn't it? Like you said.
It's on the way back.
What are your post-match thoughts, Piers? It seems like that extra week off has done you some good.
That wasn't easy. That was not easy. But yeah, at least we're scoring a lot more points. That's all I can say. We're almost getting past the halfway point on the points now.
Almost halfway.
We'll have to see next week.
We'll see you next week. Dan, bad day at the office for you. Any
Yeah.
thoughts? Have you got any Paul Lambert lines lined up for us today?
Yeah, we just had a bad spell. Bad spell today. We just got to bounce back now. I am still annoyed that I got that Dos Santos question wrong there. I'm gonna not sleep tonight because of that.
I thought you were going to say it wasn't the players' fault. We played well in the second half. That's all that counts.
Yeah.
That's all that counts. Well, we're at the end of the show today. A very long show, actually, because we've had our Ipswich Town just a debate. If you want to follow us on any of our social medias, Twitter is at Pitchside Talk, Instagram's talk_pitch, Mixcloud is Pitchside Talk. And if you want to listen to the show or see our lovely faces, which I'm sure you do not want to see, or you do really, follow us on YouTube, which is Pitchside Talk. Will we see both you guys next week for the return of the Premier League? Hallelujah.
Yeah. Of course.
Oh yes.
Yes, can't wait. Can't wait. It's going to be coming home finally. So I have been George, and I'll see you next week. We'll all see you next week. And ciao.
Yeah.
So,
The whistle has been blown for full time. Tune in next week for another jam-packed show.